What's going on? Happy Friday night, everybody. It's Friday, May the 26th, 2023, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little bit of a different time for these McRae Lives, usually in the afternoons or mornings. But I thought I would jump on and talk about my favorite movie scores of all time. Favorite movie scores. Let's keep that going. That's not long enough either. Yeah, Friday. It's Friday. I mistakenly thought last weekend was Memorial Day, last Monday was Memorial Day. It is not. It is this coming Monday. Happy Memorial Day, long weekend to all my American brothers and sisters south of the border. It was Victoria Day for us here in Canada last weekend. And we'll see who rolls on in. We'll see if we get anybody. It's the long weekend. It's entirely possible. Let's play this one more time. It's entirely possible. We might not get a big turnout tonight, folks, because it is the long weekend. And people are going away. They're hanging out with friends. It's Friday night. They're barbecuing. They're getting into domestic disputes. We'll see. We'll see. But what are some of my favorite movie scores? All right. You know, this is a great topic. This is a great topic. And we will check in on the Billy campaign here in a moment. But as usually the case is with McRae Lives, is that I will have a topic that I discuss, and then move over to the Q&A part of the show, and we'll see what happens. So some of my favorite movie scores. You know, I mean, man, look, I mean, I find that most of my favorite movie scores come from the legendary film composer himself, John Williams. I mean, it sounds like such a cop-out to say that, but he is responsible for so many of our iconic scores. And I don't just mean like the title themes, right? Like, you know, like the titles, the opening credits of things. I mean, just like other shit within. Look, say what you want about the Star Wars prequels, and I will agree with probably 99.9% of everything that's been said about it. But they have this, and I don't just mean Duel of the Fates, okay, which is phenomenal, by the way. It's one of my favorites. It's up there. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. But there's like, Across the Stars from Attack of the Clones. Oh, fantastic. There's one, I forget the name now, from Revenge of the Sith. Like the music in those movies is fantastic. I have even said, and I said this on the stream a couple days ago, on the birthday bash stream with Bruce. Listen, I love, who doesn't, right? The Star Wars theme, right? You know, it's great. It's great. It's iconic. It's amazing. But I find that I think I might like the throne room theme at the end of the original Star Wars more. I can't hit that high now. I can usually get up there, but I've been my voice is a bit crackly today. Of course, if I start lower, maybe I can hit it. That's a little better. But you know what I'm talking about, right? It's fucking amazing. It's amazing. Of course, the Imperial March. I mean, incredible. It's one of my favorite. I mean, everything I'm talking about here at the top of the show is just movie scores I love. So the Imperial March I love. The Throne Room theme I absolutely love. And I think, as much as I like and love the who doesn't, the titles, for Star Wars, I think another classic John Williams theme that I absolutely love. Need to tune up that fucking trumpet. Is the Superman theme. The Superman theme. Hit that one. It's like, oh yeah, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my God. I mean, I used to, because I don't really run listening to music anymore, but back when I was a teenager, and certainly in the 2000s, I used to run with, back when I was a teenager, I used to run with a Walkman, have a cassette tape, and then I ran with a Discman. I actually had, I would carry the Discman in my hand, and it didn't skip. It had one of those like anti-skip kind of things, and I used to just hold it in my hand and run. Fucking incredible. I couldn't put it on my pants, like on the the waistband, because it was too heavy. It would fall off. You can't run in the. And then of course I graduated to MP3 players and so on and so forth. But oh yeah, I used to have that on my not Rolodex. Well, I guess you could say Rolodex, but playlist. I should say, fucking love that. That's one of my favorite themes of all time. 100%, easily. It's fantastic. Another one, of course, we got to talk about the iconic Indiana Jones theme. Yes, of course, right? The title theme, right? The Raiders March is the official name. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm sure some of you do. But of course, it's just known as the Indiana Jones theme, right? Well, the official name of that is the Raiders March, and it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's amazing. But there's another piece of music. I mean, just even in that first movie, the temple music, it's all fucking great. But there's another piece of music from Raiders of the Lost Ark that I absolutely love, and it is the Desert Chase. Oh, one of the best. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's when Indy goes after the truck, right? And he's on the horse, and the whole thing is great. The whole thing is great. I don't have left my phone out there. The whole thing is great. Begins going bum. No, hang on. I'm going to get to the point that I absolutely like it. Okay. So the whole thing is great, but then about 6 or 7 minutes in, it builds to this crescendo. And for those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And it builds to this crescendo. And you get to this point where it goes dun 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 dun, and then it goes bum 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 bum. Oh, it's fucking amazing. And then even that builds to something like goes bum 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 bum, run 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 dun 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 dun. Oh, it's fucking great. It is great. The Desert Chase from Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's like a 7.5 minute, almost 8 minute fucking thing. YouTube it, listen to it. If you're familiar with Raiders, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about already. The whole thing is great. Like from the first minute to the 6 minute mark or wherever this fucking thing kicks in. But it's when that moment that kicks in, it just takes up like another notch. Like you're listening to like the first 5-6 minutes, you're like, yeah, this is good shit. This is great shit. You know what I'm saying? This is fucking great. And then it builds to this little thing, and then boom, bum 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 bum. And then as that rolls on, it even speeds up as the shit gets fucking wild in the fucking, scene, right? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. The Desert Chase, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It does not get enough love. I don't hear enough people talking about it. It is awesome. So like I said at the top of the show today, a lot of these themes they're all John Williams, the Raiders March, of course. Yeah, there goes the trumpet again. Got to start lower. But the Raiders March is fantastic. The Indiana Jones theme. Yes. The Desert Chase from Raiders. Oh, what about Temple of Doom? You know the one I'm talking about, right? It's got a name to it, but yeah, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, fucking great. Like a lot of this stuff is John Williams. I mean, he's just fantastic. Of course, horror fans, the Halloween theme, of course, is up there as well. I mean, it's one of my favorite themes, scores, if you will. The opening title sequence of Halloween 2, the synth and everything. John Carpenter and Alan Howarth. It's great shit. It's great shit. Absolutely. The Thing. I mean, that's got a great, it's great. It's got a great theme. The Fog. Not only do I think is The Fog a very underrated John Carpenter film, and underappreciated, I think the music in that movie is fantastic. Now, does it have a Halloween sort of vibe to it? Yeah, it's got a Halloween vibe to it for sure. 100% it does. But it's different enough that it stands on its own. And I think every bit of the theme, everything from The Fog is great, is absolutely great. Another film that I love, every piece of music on this soundtrack, is The Green Mile from 1999. I got to look up the composer, but I love that soundtrack. I love every, and again, it's all instrumental shit, right? But I love that soundtrack. One of my favorite movie scores of all time. And it's funny to say that because you're like, The Green Mile? Yes, The Green Mile. Is fucking great. There's even the music from The Shawshank Redemption is great. Very moving and emotional, and it's great. There's even what is it? I forget the name of it. I'm not going to say the entire soundtrack, but there's a piece. There's a let me just see if I can get this here. There's a track from the Pearl Harbor soundtrack. It's called Tennessee, I think. Is that what it's called? Let me just... Hans Zimmer. Fucking amazing. Yeah, Hans Zimmer. Okay, do you guys hear this? No, you guys don't hear this. Now you'll hear it. That's great shit. That's great shit. Fuck, I should have thought about doing this earlier. Let me just play that Desert Chase. Oh my God. Desert Chase shit. Desert Chase, baby. Baby. So this is this is how the Desert Chase begins, okay? You'll recognize if you're an indie fan. Fucking great. Great shit. You recognize that shit, right? Well, let's get to about, I think it's just before, hang on, is it the 5-minute mark? Let me see here, hang on a sec. Let me see if let me just get to, hang on, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to mute that for a second so I can find it. Now it's back here. Okay, so no, I was wrong. It wasn't that much. So I was wrong. It wasn't that far in. It's like 4.5 minutes in, not 6 minutes in, like I said. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Gotta find it. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. Fucking great. So yeah, it's like just over 4.5 minutes in. Listen to this shit, man. Listen to this fucking shit. I don't care if I get dinged for this. It's worth it. Here we go. Here it is! Yes! 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 Listen to that! Listen to that! Ow! Some of John Williams' best work. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Yes, yes, yes! That's what I'm talking about! Yes! Here comes the Raiders March! Coming in there a little bit, underneath, I think. Hang on. Oh, we're not there yet? We're not there yet? We're not there yet? We're not there yet? Hang on, hang on. Hang on. You're gonna hear the Raiders March in a second. Like that, like... It's coming, it's coming. It's coming, it's coming. Here it comes, here it comes. Listen to that. There it is, there it is. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Fucking great. Fucking great shit. Great shit. That's great shit. Man, I'm gonna get dinged for it, but I don't fucking care. That's some awesome shit, man. That's some awesome shit. I'm telling you, man. That's yes. Bum, 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 bum. Like, it's just, and it's one of the greatest. I mean, listen, it's 1981. You know, you watch it today, it's a little dated, of course, because it's 1981. But that's still one of the great chase sequences in the history of motion pictures, is when he gets off that horse onto that truck all the way to when he takes over the truck. He's fucking hanging off the truck. He's under the truck. He's hanging from the back of the truck. He climbs back on, gets that whole music there is all from that chase scene. And it's just fucking great. It's one of the great sequences in the history of film. Like, Raiders is fucking fantastic movie. It is mint, man. It's mint. Fucking love it. I also like the ending. I don't know who did it. But I also like the ending of, I should have thought about doing this earlier. I'm going to get dinged all over the place. I had to play that, but I also like the score, the end. Okay. So, Godzilla 1985, the American version, right? Which is called Godzilla 1985, the one with Raymond Burr. After Raymond Burr says his speech and we cut to the end credits, I really like the piece of music that plays there. And I don't know who did it. I mean, I could search for it, I guess. Off the top of my head, I don't know who did it. But it's a great piece of music. And it's this music here. Well, not that piece of music. That's the, hang on. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. So it's going to be a little buzzy because this is from 10 years ago. This is uploaded 10 years ago, and the quality's not great, but you'll hear it. I fucking love this track too. I love this track. Ready? Here we go. Yes! Listen to that. Boom, 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 boom. Fucking love that. Just love the way that just begins. Boom, 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 boom. It's just so great. It's fucking great. So I don't know who did that, but shout out to whoever the hell you are. Look it up. But yeah, I mean, everything from like just the ones I've been talking about here today to Shawshank Redemption and to The Green Mile. Like I said, The Green Mile is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. period, of all time. It's got a great soundtrack to it. And there's so many. Like, I mean, and again, I'm talking about like musical, I guess when I say soundtrack, I'm talking about scores, instrumental pieces of music, themes, scores, things like that. Not necessarily songs that were either created just for the movie or, whatever. I'm talking about like stuff, but most of the stuff that I fucking love is from John Williams, but Hans Zimmer, like I said, that fucking Tennessee track from Pearl Harbor is fucking great. It's a great piece of music. I also, Hans Zimmer, I actually quite like the Man of Steel Superman theme. It's it's not that, but it's really good in its own right. It's really good. And I believe that's Hans Zimmer, if I'm not mistaken. That's really good. I really like that one too. And I'm a big movie soundtrack instrumental score kind of guy. But I gotta feel it. Like, I don't just listen to anything and just, it can sound okay and pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's pretty good, but it's really got to hit me. And all the ones I'm talking about here today are like ones that really hit me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, like that desert chase from Raiders. Oh, it's fucking great. It's fucking great, dude. I want that played at my funeral. Why not? What else? There's just so much. There's so much, but those are some ones that like today that are my go-tos. Like, yeah, the Throne Room from Star Wars, the Imperial March, a bunch of tracks from the prequel films. Oh, I also really like, Rey's theme from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Really like Rey's theme a lot. For those of you that obviously don't know what I'm talking about because you hate the Star Wars sequel trilogy, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But it's this one. Yeah. Okay, there's Rey's theme, yes, that I quite like. Which I'll play a little bit of, but actually I was thinking of another theme, which is, I think it's called The Jedi Steps, and it was played at the end of The Force Awakens, but this is Rey's theme here. Pretty cool, right? John Williams again. That's great. I don't give a fuck if you don't like the movies. That's a great fucking, that's great. That's cool shit. Yes. Love that little, it's fucking great. Love that. So really love Rey's theme and the Jedi Steps theme. Here we go. I love this too. Love this track. It's great stuff. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Put that up a little bit. It's great stuff, though. Yeah, it's great shit. Like, all that stuff is just great. You know what I mean? Like, it's just great stuff. Johnny Williams, as Steven Spielberg calls him, Johnny Williams. But there's like a lot of the Star Wars stuff. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the prequels at all, but you go back and you listen to I have all their soundtracks. Duel of the Fates obviously is the most obvious one. Or Duel of the Fates. But there's other shit that is fantastic from the prequels that isn't Duel of the Fates. So yeah, obviously I'm a big John Williams fan. It's my childhood, right? Lot of great stuff, but yeah, everything from Halloween, of course, love the Halloween soundtrack. I do. I absolutely do. But there's so much wonderful shit out there. That's great stuff. The Beverly Hills Cop theme, Axel Foley. Fucking love that. I mean, that's Axel F, I think is the actual name of it. Love that. What else, man? The Back to the Future fucking soundtrack by Alan Silvestri. Is that how you say his name? Silvestri, I think. Fucking great. And Huey Lewis and the News, like their tracks on there. That's the power of love. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that shit's great too. Going back in time. All that shit's great. But the instrumental, like the soundtrack, the Back to the Future soundtrack is fucking great. I'm trying to remember how it goes now. I know how it goes, but sometimes you can like go to do it and then it's like, no, wait a minute, that's Star Wars. But you know what I'm talking about. You know, I can hear it in my head, but I'm trying to, yeah, I'm getting it mixed up because I've been listening to too many songs. But love the Back to the Future soundtrack, the Jaws soundtrack. Again, beyond the I mean, that's great. That's iconic. It's great. But you listen to the Jaws soundtrack, there's other great shit on there too. That's fantastic. Yeah, like we get so locked into the sort of the themes, which I understand because it makes sense, right? Totally makes sense. But when you go beyond the themes and you dive deeper into some of these soundtracks, I mean, sometimes you're like, nah, the theme is the theme's the best. But sometimes you go beyond that and you're like, whoa, like Star Wars is a perfect example of that. You know what I mean? Like there's the opening theme, yeah, but Imperial March, Throne Room, you know? What about, I forget the name of it, but I forget the name of it now. But oh, it's fucking great. Anyways, I could go on and on and on and on and on. But yeah, big fan of the Star Wars soundtracks, of course, the Indiana Jones, John Williams in general, Back to the Future, Jaws, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, just some great pieces of music. I mean, this whole show could like be like 5 hours long, but for the sake of time, I wanted to be decisive and just kind of talk about some of my favorites, here at the top of the show, because I get asked about it a lot. You know, what soundtracks do you like? What's your favorite score? I don't know if I have a favorite score. I don't know if I do, but I definitely, the ones I've talked about here today fucking make me smile, man, and get me jazzed. You know, I'm just like, yeah, especially that Desert Chase. Just love that Desert. I would love, I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but because he's old and I don't know when the next time I'm going to be in LA in the summer to go to the Hollywood Bowl and see John Williams perform. How much longer is he going to be performing? But I would love to see, but even if it's not John Williams, if it's a full piece orchestra and they're fucking fantastic, and there's a great hall here in Toronto called Roy Thompson Hall, and it's that kind of a theater, right? Like a opera orchestra kind of, and they have all kinds of events there. Yeah, I'd love to fucking see that shit. Like the Desert Chase with the fucking acoustics bouncing all around you, like boom, 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 boom. Oh man, woo! Love that shit, man. Love that shit. Let's go over the chat. Hey, if you're watching after the fact, jump into the comment section below and let me know some of your favorite movie scores and soundtracks. And let me know. I would really like to know what you what gets you going, what gets the goosebumps going. You know, you listen and you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? We all have those songs. Maybe it's a song. Now, I'm trying to stay away from the songs with lyrics. That's a separate thing. I'm talking about like scores, like themes, instrumental themes, scores, things like that. Yeah, let me know. Because maybe your favorite soundtrack is American Graffiti, which is just all like, pop and rock songs from the 50s and 60s. So, but which is a great movie and a great soundtrack, by the way. But yeah, let me know your thoughts of some of maybe some of the scores I've talked about here, and let me know your thoughts. And do you ever listen to them outside? See, that's the sign of a great score. Is when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of these scores away from the movies. And they became sort of like the soundtrack of like my day at high school or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I was listening to them to prepare for like, I don't know, the big game or you know, something, you know, cool was going down at school or something, whatever. And I would be like, it was the soundtrack of high school in a lot of ways. And I wasn't that far removed from these films either, because obviously I was in high school in the early to mid 90s. So a lot of these soundtracks were, I mean, at best maybe 10 years old. You know what I mean? Now they're like 40, but so it was still kind of, you know, new and yeah, they're great shit. Like it was all just loved it. Love that kind of shit. Well, especially, you know, Shawshank came out when I was in high school, and The Green Mile came out when I was in college. So that was a little later. But yeah, jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I have no doubt that everybody's got different reasons and things they like. And I have no doubt that, you know, people are going to be putting like the Batman soundtracks on there, or maybe some, you know, some of the Exorcist theme, right? You know, Tubular Bells. Which is a great fucking track, 100%. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Jump into the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Now, a bunch of super chats did come in, so I'm going to check that. We got to go over to the other screen here. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Oh, you guys are what? 65,978, 541 backers. We've reached nearly 66,000 tonight. I wasn't even asking for it. I mean, I'm always asking for it, but I just mean that I was, you know, doing my show. We were talking about soundtracks. I was getting excited over the soundtracks, and somebody has come through. It looks like it might be an associate producer perk. I'm not sure. We'll check it out here in a second. Again, we'll be on here for at least another hour or so. Anybody who donates to the campaign will get a shout out from me here on the show tonight. That's the way it's going to be anytime I do these streams, of course, all the way to the end of the campaign. And of course, remember, you can donate to the campaign even when I'm not doing these streams, of course. You can always do that. But it's really cool to be able to see this kind of support when, you know, you're live and you're just kind of doing your thing. And holy snapping crap, ladies and gentlemen, 65,978, 54%. We are less. We are basically $4,000 away from $70,000 Canadian. We are ahead of the game. This is good. This is a really good momentum we have now, because we are literally only 3 days away from 1 month, marking 1 month. Because as you can see there, 35 days left. That'll be 34 tomorrow, 33 on Sunday, down to 32 on Monday, which is basically, you know, give or take a day, 1 month left in the campaign. There's still, as you can see, there's still a lot of ground to make up. We've done really well. This is really awesome. I thank each and every one of you who have donated so far. Your hard-earned money. You are stepping up. You believe in us. You believe in the project, and sincerely, that means a lot. I mean, it means the world. But it's a great start, right? Almost a month down, nearly 55% in. This is really great. Still a lot of road, but I'd rather be here than, you know, $30,000 less. Let's see who this was and give them the proper thank you here. This was, what do we got going on here? So it looks like we've got Joseph Formato. Joseph Formato picked up a double blue. Thank you, Joseph Formato. Or Formato. Thank you, Joseph. Really, really appreciate that. And Oliver Mercer. Oliver, you must have been saving up for this, my man. Oliver Mercer, one of our great supporters here on the campaign, on the channel, has become an associate producer of It's Me, Billy Chapter 2. Oliver, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I believe there are still 5 associate producer spots still available. So, but pretty cool indeed, Oliver. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate you stepping up like that, Oliver. That is just awesome. So thank you so much for becoming an associate producer on It's Me, Billy Chapter 2. We really appreciate that. I was hoping we'd just cross 65 tonight because I was just doing, a McRae live and we were just kind of chilling and, relaxing. It's the long weekend for you guys in the States. I wasn't expecting a big turnout tonight. I just wanted to jump on and, kind of hang out for, an hour and a half or so. And somebody dropped a bomb. And it's really incredible to see this. This is great. And listen, for those of you that are watching live and maybe watching after the fact, so we still have 2 co-producer perks available. Really cool. But also I want to tout this perk again because I don't think it gets enough love. And I think it's a really, really cool perk. They're all cool. Don't get me wrong. But is this one right here is the holiday sweater. So I think a lot of people might not be aware of how cool this is as it relates to Black Christmas. If you watch the original Black Christmas from 1978, this is an exact replica of the sweater that Olivia Hussey wears in that movie. Let me see if I can just bring up a photo of Olivia in that. Jess Bradford. Okay. She doesn't wear it for the whole movie, but it's the first thing we are introduced to her in. So there we go. Okay. So this is a really grainy, shitty image. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. That's a better one. It's a little blurry because obviously, the pixels are not great. But this is, let me just open this up here. So this is, hang on a sec, bear with me. Where are you here? You are there. Okay, so here's Olivia Hussey as Jess Bradford in the original Black Christmas. And you can see the sweater, right? You can see the sweater there. And so this is something that that she wore in the original film. And we partnered with Amalia of Poltergeist and Paramours, who makes an exact replica of this sweater. Now, boys, men, because I know that 95% of my viewers are men. True. According to Google Analytics, literally only 4.7% of my viewers are women. Men, this is unisex. So this is not like, oh, that's a girl's sweater. I don't want to buy that. No. It is not. Listen, I understand that. I get who wore it in the movie, but it is unisex, the fit, the cut, the look. Nobody would look at you and be like, oh, he's got a girl's sweater on. Nobody's going to be thinking that. That's not how this is designed. But a cool thing nonetheless, if I do say so myself. Now, let me just get this here. Unfortunately, the sizes are only small, medium, large, and 1XL. Unfortunately, we don't have any more beyond that at this time. They're also limited to 5 apiece. So 5 small, 5 medium, 5 large, 5 extra large. But maybe, you know what, maybe you're not going to wear it. Maybe just like, that's really fucking cool. I want to get that and just have it as just like a thing. It's not something you can buy in stores. This is a novelty item. It's not something you can buy in stores. You could order it from her, I guess, but the whole idea was to partner with her and so you could support the campaign at the same time. But that's the only place you can get it, as far as I know. It's not something that you're going to walk into Walmart and see, and like that. So it's a very niche specialty item, which is really, really cool. So just want to let you know that, just in case, you've forgotten about it. It's cool. Unisex, boys. Unisex, don't worry. And this one, too, I got to tout this again because only 6 people have picked it up out of a possible 30. This is the online advanced screening. So if you want to see It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 before anybody else, it will probably be like a week before, right? So it's not going to be like months before. It'll probably be like a week before, like a premiere type thing. If you want to see it before anybody else, think about picking that up. There's still lots available. And then, yes, since Oliver became an associate producer, Oliver, again, great to have you on board. There are still 5 spots available. And the executive producer package, which, of course, is the granddaddy, it's the most expensive. That's Canadian. You're seeing 8,000 Canadian. For you Americans, it's probably closer to 6,000. But it's everything. It's everything. You get everything. Everything. One of everything. So as you can see, including that mask. So we had 2 executive producers before. There may be an executive producer that might come on board soon. We don't know yet. But yeah, if you have deep pockets or a rich uncle, you might want to think about that. But very cool indeed. Oliver, thank you so much for stepping up like that. Really appreciate it. And again, lots of Blu-rays, folks. Lots of Blu-rays still available. So now, there is still another month in the campaign, of course. There's still another month to go. There are 35 days left, but I know I'm talking about it a lot. I know I'm doing a lot of streams. I get it. I understand that. But like I said, about a month or so ago, I said, be prepared for the next 2 months here. There's going to be a lot of Billy talk, and probably more so than there even was in 2020 because our budget is double. But we have the same amount of time to do it. It's not like we have an extra, time to do it. We have only 2 months, which is the same amount of time we had for the first one, but our budget is double. So lots of promotion, lots of postings, lots of streams, trying to get those algorithms and hashtags and all that kind of stuff, just to be sort of a constant thing that's always out there. Because if I stop, people will forget, people won't think about it. And so I do appreciate your patience as we move through the funding process. It's not always going to be, Billy crazy here on the channel. But obviously we are in a major crowdfunding sort of mode here and campaign. So I do appreciate your patience and time. But you know what? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to connect with you guys like this and to see it going up. I mean, listen, we're so close to 66,000. It'd be nice to get to 66,000. We're like $28 away. Oh no, we're $22 away. We're $22 away. Certainly we could get to 66,000. Really cool stuff. Now, let me get those super chats that came in, because a bunch of super chats did come in. So let me get those, so I'm not missing those. Okay, Nighttime sends in, oh wait, was that? Yes, Nighttime sends in $5. Thank you very much, Nighttime. And says, did you see Fast X? No. There was a pre-credit, mid-credit, and post-credit sequence. It was insane. No, I've checked out of Fast and Furious. I mean, listen, I think the last Fast movie I saw was, I think, Fast 5. I get the appeal, but it's hard for me. It kind of just all bleeds into each other. It's all just kind of the same. And I just sort of, it's not something I would pay to go to the movie theater to see. Let's just put it that way. When it comes to Netflix or it's on Prime or something and it's free, I might be like, yeah, whatever, I'll watch it. But I'm not a big Fast fan. Sean Sheridan sends in €2. Thank you, Sean, and says, how would you rate the Terminator score? Oh, yeah, that's up there too. Yes, Terminator, yeah, yes. How's it going? Something like that. I need to tune my trumpet here. You know what I'm talking about. Something like that. Yeah, that's a great score. Great score. Kevin Duffy sends in $5. Says, hey, Dave, can't wait for IMDb 2. Loved It's Me, Billy. If you get a chance, please check out the teaser for a horror movie I was in called Desert Fiends. Cheers. Fiends? Or is it Friends, maybe? Maybe the R is missing. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Thank you very much. And yes, and thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Yeah, hey, look, we are ready to do it. We got to raise the production budget first, though. Got to raise that production budget. But yes, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Oh, Kevin, you sent it in twice. You sent it in twice, and it's just as nice. Can't wait for IMDb 2. Loved IMDb. Please check out the teaser to a horror comedy film. You added the word comedy. Horror comedy. Okay. All right. Cool. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Joseph Aaron sends in $5, says, man of my word, Dave, just bought the double blue. Hey, you were the one. Just bought the double blue feature Blu-ray for It's Me Billy. Next is a shirt, hopefully. How will my name appear in the end credits for IMDb 2? Your name will appear, so after, the producers and the cast and the crew and all that kind of stuff, the last thing you will see before the logos of, the unions and all that kind of stuff. The last thing you will see is something that, we want to thank our amazing Indiegogo backers. Without you, this would not have been possible. Same thing as you see at the end of It's Me Billy Chapter 1. Although maybe you didn't watch the end credits long enough to see that unless you were in it. But the last thing you see is just a list of names, just a bunch of names, all in alphabetical order. And by the way, if you don't want your name to be, Billy Bob 36, do not sign up with a perk as Billy Bob 36. Use your real name. So because I'm just going to use the names that people sign up with, not necessarily the names that are attached to your address, because that's just too much work for us guys. We don't have time to, what I'm saying? So if you don't want your name to be Billy Bob 36 and you want your actual name, Bob Johnson, to show up, then make sure when you get a perk, you get it with Bob Johnson, not Billy Bob 36. So just letting people know that, because there were some people that reached out to us before and were like, oh, how come my name is like Cutie Pie 3624? And it's like, well, because that's what you signed up with. I don't have time to be going back and forth and rearranging it. It's much easier. It's there. So it will be in alphabetical order and you will see your name. So you just have to wait for your name to pop up and it will be there. That's how it will be. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Sal Wayne's Knight sends in $5, says, I know I'm on an island, but the score for Armageddon is fantastic. No, dude, you're not on an island. Dude, I agree. Yeah, the main theme to Armageddon is actually really good. And I'm not talking about the Aerosmith song, which is a great song, but no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I have actually the Armageddon soundtrack on CD. I bought it when it came out in '98. Could not agree with you more, man. It's one I have never heard mentioned, and I think it's underrated. I agree. I don't know if I agree with everything, like all the instrumental tracks, but definitely there's one particular track that I agree with that I think is really good. Josh McKenna sends in $9.99. Thank you, Josh, and says, 1, what temperature do you like your steak cooked at? 2, I had a dream one night that Indiegogo was at 30 million. Oh, 30 million. What would you and Bruce do if you raised that much in real life? Well, I would say that, first of all, what temperature? I don't know. I have no idea. I would just say that I like my steak well done. I don't mind medium rare, but I certainly don't I really don't like my steak bloody. I don't want like blood and juice all over the place. So I'm going to say maybe like medium to well done. Not like well done where it's like rubber and it's hard, but it's well done. You know what I mean? It's like eating a burger or something, like a well-cooked burger. I like my meat well cooked. What would we do if we raised $30 million? Well, I mean, we would obviously make this movie, but look, with $30 million, you could make 30 million movies. Or 30 movies, I should say. Not 30 million movies, 30 movies. Because you would take $1 million, I could make 30 movies that had a budget of $1 million each. 30 movies that had $1 million budget each. That's what I would do, which is great. And totally, you could absolutely do that. 100%. I mean, maybe one or two of them go over 1.5, 1.2, whatever, but absolutely. I would, maybe I wouldn't make 30, but I certainly would make at least 10 movies with $30 million because you can. You absolutely could. You know, and I'm talking like, you know, my kind of horror movies, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, Insidious or like, you know, The House of the Devil and, you know, real like eerie, creepy, low budget, but really awesome horror movies, mood, atmosphere, suspense, theater of the mind. Yeah, you could feel $30 million. Fuck, I could knock out 20 of those. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If it's allocated correctly, for sure. It's not enough for a superhero movie, but it's definitely enough for a bunch of horror movies. Edward Nito, my Godzilla brother from another mother, sends in $10, says, the G8, the Godzilla 85 track is dope, Dave. I agree. I have the vinyl. You have the vinyl! Amazing. The track is titled Super High Rise Rescue. Toho turned composer, I'm going to butcher this, Rijiro Koroku, who did an amazing job. Such a powerful Godzilla movie. Are you talking about the one that's at the end of the soundtrack? That one? Is that what it's called? Super High Rise Rescue? Or are you talking about, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, cool. Anyways, I'll look into it. Yeah, it's fucking great. I love that. I love that soundtrack. Love that movie. Vendez Cinema sends in $9.99. And let me see if I can actually go back and get that where I have some light on my face here. Yes, I can. Okay, great. Sends in $9.99, thank you, and says, Avatar by James Horner is an amazing score. War becoming the Na'vi, Quaritch down, gathering all the Na'vi's clans for battle are just a few standouts. Unfortunately, Horner passed before Avatar 2. Yeah. I got to listen to the Avatar soundtrack again, but you are right. It's great shit. Anything that the likes of like an Alan Silvestri, James Horner, Hans Zimmer, John Williams. I mean, John Williams is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. But I mean, anything those other guys touch are fantastic as well. And the Avatar soundtrack is really good. I could not agree with you more. Yep. Really good. Oh, yes, folks. Look at that. 66,320. We've gone up an extra 3 backers. Let's give them shout outs, folks. Amazing. Love to see you guys supporting. You know, it means a lot. Who do we got here? We got Christopher. Is it Stengel? I know who you are. I think I always butcher your last name. I'm always worried about that. Anyways, donates $22. Thank you so much, Christopher. Really appreciate that. Evan Cryan, I think is how, right? It's a hard C. I think you had told us about this before. It's a hard C. It's crying, I think. It's a hard C, and I thought it was a soft C. I think I'm saying that right. Maybe I'm butchering it. Picked up the holiday sweater. Yes, picked up the holiday sweater. That's a boy. There's nothing girly about this. Listen, dude, I'm fucking getting one. And I'm going to rock that thing like it's nobody's business. Like, I really don't give a shit. I'll probably wear it on set or something. I don't know. Thank you so much for picking one up. Really appreciate that. And then Lee Bowers just donated $100. Amazing. Thank you so much, Lee. Really appreciate that. Yeah, again, just so you guys remember, right? If you've already picked up perks, I'm not expecting you to keep picking up perks. That's ridiculous. Unless you're hoarding all these perks to send out as, you know, Christmas gifts or something. I don't know. But always remember, you can donate to the campaign, right? They're not associated with perks. So if you got like an extra $100 or you got an extra $5, $10, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the total is. You can actually just donate that to the campaign. And that's not associated, you know, with any perks. And you don't have to worry about, you know, getting another Blu-ray or another shirt. And it may not seem like a lot, but it does add up. You know, it does add up. So just always keep that in mind. I always say that. Amazing, though. Thank you so much. We are at 66,320, 55%. Folks, I wanted to be at 60,000 by this coming Monday. Now, if we kept up that pace, that wasn't a pace that was going to carry us to 120,000, but it's the minimum that I want. Like, where do we want, if we don't reach 120,000, and I hope we do, because it'll put the campaign into demand, and then we can continue to raise funds afterwards. That's always the goal of any campaigner here on Indiegogo, is to get your campaign, your goal met, and get your campaign into demand. But we've talked about it behind the scenes, and, you know, where do we, hypothetically, if we don't reach it on this first go around, what do we want to reach? And Bruce and I have said, well, as close to 100,000 Canadian as possible, because then that puts us in a good spot to maybe we run another campaign to make up, a bit of the difference. So I'm always playing at like minimums, right? Because I also don't want to get, too ambitious either. So I want it to be at 60,000 by this Monday. We're already at 66,320, and it's not even Saturday. I think 70,000 is within reach by Monday. That's amazing. That's amazing. Then that means, could we go into week 5 and hit 80, week 6, 90, week 7, 100, week 8, 110? See how we're still kind of behind, but that's still great. Like if we finish the campaign with 110, I'd be like, okay, we didn't get the campaign into demand, damn it. But now now we can run another one at a lower point, hopefully reach that, get it into demand and, whatever, right? But like I've said, if we can get this campaign into demand, that's the ultimate. That's what we want to do, right? That's what we want. And I think it's entirely possible. I think it's entirely possible. You never know who's going to come out of the woodwork in these last few weeks. You know what I mean? You never know. It's crazy, but that's amazing. Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting this tonight at all. Anytime I'm live between now and again, even when I'm not live, I encourage people to go to the campaign and donate. But I just wanted to jump on, talk about scores, have some fun, talk about the campaign and whatnot. But this is great. This is so great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Calvonics, hey, one of our new associate producers, Calvonics, sends in $3 Billy bucks and says, the Drive soundtrack is so good. Lots of 80s synths. Okay, the Drive sound. Is that the movie with Ryan Gosling? I don't know if I've seen that movie. I know the movie you're talking about, but I'm not sure if I've seen it. So I'll have to check it out. But thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. Joseph Aaron sends in $5, says, Temple of Doom theme. Be cool to hear you play it live. It's so dark and beautiful. Oh, yeah. Dude, okay, let me just get on that. I'm totally going to get dinged for all these fucking soundtracks. Temple of Doom. But it's the theme is the ba ba bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum bum bum. Like that's the theme you're talking about, right? I'm pretty sure it is. So let me just, I think it's this one here. Let's see. Ooh, that's interesting. That's John Williams. Oh, this soundtrack. Yeah, this soundtrack is great too. Yeah, this soundtrack is great too. The Muller on the... Oh! Yes! I fucking forgot about this. This is great shit. I forgot about... not that I forgot about it, but yes, when talking about Temple, I was so focused on that other one. I forgot about this one. Yes. Put that on the list. Put that on the McRae list. Fuck, it's great. Oh my God, it's great. But I'm talking about, that's fucking great. But what about fuck, where is it? Fuck, is it this one? Hang on. Is it this one? No, not that. That's the Raiders March. Is it this one? There it is. Yes! Bum, 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 Yeah, that's fucking great shit. That's great shit. That's some great shit right there. That's some great ass shit. Thank you for the reminder, Joseph. Appreciate that, man. Calvonics, another 220. Appreciate that. Says, who did the small grunt for Jess Bradford and IMB1? Oh, that's actually That is, I did all the sound design for It's Me, Billy Chapter 1. And I did all the sound. So all of the mixing, the mastering, all that I did here in my home studio. And I have, as I know you can probably appreciate, I have a library of thousands of sound effects, just over the years from just being a voice actor and doing a lot of sounds, mixing commercials and all that kind of stuff. I'm not an audio engineer officially, but having worked with audio since Adobe Audition was Cool Edit Pro, I'm well versed into how to mix and master and level and do sound design and sound mixing for a film. And I don't have to pay anybody to do it because I can do it. So it saves us a bit of money. Now, if we had the budget, sure, why not, right? Because then I don't have to worry about it. Takes the stress off of me. We can hire somebody to do it. We can go in. But when you're, making movies on the independent level, I was confident enough in my abilities as a professional to be able to deliver a professional product in the way of sound. And I think I did. I think everything is solid, if I do say so myself. But yeah, but I have a library of tons of stuff, right? And it was just from my library. It wasn't anybody on set. It was just, I have a bunch of women doing different things and different noises and this and that and screams and this and all that kind of stuff, right? You know what I mean? So I just found ones like, oh, that fits perfectly. For the purposes of what we needed it for, it fit perfectly. So that's what it was. Just from the sound library. A little bit of movie magic with a curtain lifted up there. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, super chat comes in from, Siren. Oh, then maybe, okay. Siren. So was I saying hard C before? Maybe I was saying hard C before. I think you tried to correct me. It's Siren. Okay, fair. I've never seen Siren spelt like that. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. I don't know. But fair enough. Evan Siren. Woo! Whoop, 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 whoop. That's probably not the first time somebody's done that to you, poor guy. Hey, Dave, it's pronounced siren. Think police car. The sweater was too cool to resist. I've got a yellow shirt that I can rock under it too. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, dude, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm going to find a yellow shirt. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I mean, listen, I dress up as Jamie. I put on the blue shirt and the jeans. I go as Laurie Strode. I don't fucking care. Amazing. Thank you for picking up the sweater. Really cool. I think it's really cool. Now, listen, again, I mean, if you're not a big Black Christmas fan, you see it and you're like, yeah, okay, it's not really a big deal, right? But it's pretty cool because it's niche. Like, it's not something that you can. I think it's actually, I'll be honest with you. I think it's way cooler. From a certain point of view than the Laurie Strode outfit from the original Halloween. Because the Laurie Strode outfit from the original Halloween is just a pair of jeans and a blue collared shirt. Well, that's easy. I could go to fucking Walmart right now and buy that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna take it. That's something you can get in stores and get in a lot of stores. That's really easy. And it's cool that it's easy because that means it's accessible and a lot of women, mostly, of course, obviously, can dress up as Laurie Strode. But this, it's so specific. It's so specific. Now, again, it's not the sweater she was wearing at the end of the movie when shit hits the fan. But it's the first, but she wears it for like the first half of the movie. Like certainly the opening when they get the phone call and we're introduced to the characters and she's walking around and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure. So it's very niche, very specific, two big hands right on her chest. I think it's such a cool item. When I found out that this woman made them, I had to reach out and say, hey, you know, would you be willing to make, if we sell some, would you be willing to make some for the campaign? She's like, yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? And by all means, go to her website. Just Google poltergeists and paramours, I think is the name of her site. She's got all kinds of shit on there. So it's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. She's very talented. And she's based in the States too. So you don't have to worry about like it, you know, shipping from somewhere else. Okay, I think I've got all the super chats, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I do. I don't think I've missed any. Okay, yeah, no, I didn't. Just going back. Yeah, a lot of great soundtracks. Dreeklock, is that how you say that? Dreeklock says, for the It's Me Billy 2 perks, how detailed will be the script notes to be on the physical scripts? I don't know. That's a good question. You know, because it's not synthetically created, right? So it's organic. So when we get to set, Bruce and I will often, you know, everybody has a script and we have our own, and it's usually in a binder. And we won't send the binder to you, obviously, but that's how we have it in our hands. And we make notes, based on maybe there's lines we need to rework, or there's just a note I want to add, or he wants to add, or, you know, whatever the case is. So, it will be marked up for sure. It always is, because there's certain things we want to remember, certain details. Maybe we've changed a shot, although that would probably go on the shot list. But yeah, it'll be marked up, but what's being said, or how much, or how, you know, messy or convoluted or not convoluted it is, I have no idea, because it's organic. It's in the moment, right? Whatever happens on set is how we're going to do it. So, but the one that we mailed out for chapter 1 had a lot of notes on it. So, you know, I assume those who got it, you know, and again, it's copies of it. We're not sending you the actual one. We'll send you copies of it, but all the notes are there, and it's all organic shit. And it's cool, you know, if you're a filmmaker or an aspiring filmmaker, or you know, you just like that kind of shit. It's cool because it'll give you some insight into sort of our process and what we were talking about, or maybe what we added or crossed out, or, you know, what have you, in the moment while the movie was being made. So it is pretty cool for sure. Let me see here. Andrew says, damn, I didn't know about this stream. Come on, YouTube. Well, to be fair, I had only announced it at about like 2.5 hours before I went live. I didn't know if I was going to go live, and then I suddenly thought, oh, you know what? I want to talk about movie soundtracks. Why not? I haven't really talked about, you know, or movie scores, things like that. So I just kind of, spur of the moment kind of shit. I wasn't really thinking too hard about it. All right, we've got another donation has come in. We are, let me see here. 545. We're up to 66,350. Let's see who this was. Give them a shout out. Again, anybody who donates picks up a perk. This is Thomas Christie. Thomas Christie just donated $30 to the campaign. Amazing, Thomas. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I don't think I am. Really appreciate that. Hard to believe we're we're like $3,650 away from 70,000. It's fantastic. It's unreal. A reminder as well, I'll say this again at the end of the show, and I will post about it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself and Bruce will be on the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. So we'll be on their channel talking about, it's me, Billy, of course, but we're also going to give our top 5 favorite psychological horror films. That's with Farron. That's with Farron and Dake. That's with Darren and Frank. That's with Farron and Dank tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, tomorrow morning. That'll be a lot of fun. Evil Monsterism says, Dave, do you think The Fugitive would have been better if Tommy Lee Jones' character killed Harrison Ford's character and found out he was innocent later on? It would have added a lot of emotional gravity. I don't know. I'd have to watch The Fugitive again. I haven't watched it in a few years. Certainly it would have. Yeah, it would have been a different ending. But I think the ending we got is fine, because he realizes that he's innocent. And I think taking his handcuffs off in the back of the car. See, he cuffs him as he takes him to the car for the optics of it, right? For the cameras and all that kind of stuff. And then when they're in the back of the car, he takes the cuffs off of him. And that right there is the sign of, I know you're innocent. Everything's going to be okay. Like, you don't need any more beyond that. You don't need to see him acquitted or whatever, or thrown out, whatever. That Tommy Lee Jones removing the cuffs from Harrison Ford's hands. I think he does that, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That right there is the answer. That is the, you know what I mean? It's okay. Despite what they've been through in the manhunt and all that kind of stuff. So, but you're right. I mean, had he died, especially at the hands of Tommy Lee Jones's character, that would have added a whole different layer. That would have been a very sad and tragic ending. You know what I mean? It would have been very sad and tragic. Would have added, a different layer for sure. A different layer for sure. It definitely would have added that. All right, let me go back over here. What's going on? Chester Franklin Jr. says, Dave, what's your thoughts on the Starman soundtrack? My favorite track is Starman. I'd have to listen to it. I mean, I've seen the movie, but not in years. I'm not sure, Chester. I'd have to listen to it. I haven't heard about it in years. Rob Thidoff says, Dave, your thoughts on the Presumed Innocent score? I love Presumed Innocent, but again, another movie I haven't seen in a long time. I'd have to listen to it. I can't make an exact association right off the bat. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the ones I've been talking about here today are like, they're instantaneous. You know them like the back of your hand. I'm not really sure. I'd have to listen to it again. Schindler's List soundtrack is fantastic. The Saving Private Ryan soundtrack is really good too. That's a good score. There are so many. Like, there really are wonderful scores out there. The Goonies. Fuck the Goonies. I forgot to talk about the Goonies. Yes, the Goonies. And that's not John Williams. The Goonies soundtrack. The Goonies score. I'm talking about this. Not the Goonies Are Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper, which is great, by the way. The Cyndi Lauper song. But I'm talking about this one. Let me fast forward it here. Hang on. This. Yes! Yes, baby. Yes, baby. That soundtrack, or that score, I should say, that piece, that track, totally forgot about that one. Damn, I should have mentioned that at the top of the show. There's so many. I mean, E.T., the soundtrack to E.T., or the theme to E.T., I should say, is great. Again, John Williams. Funny enough, I used to think that piece of music that I just played from the Goonies, I used to think that was John Williams. I think it's because although Spielberg didn't direct the Goonies, it's based on a story of his. He produced it. I always thought that he did the music for the Goonies, but he didn't. As far as I know, I don't think he did. Let me just double check so I don't sound like an ass. I don't think he did. No, it's by Dave Grusin. Dave Grusin. There he is. He's still alive. Is an American composer. What else has he done? I'd love to know what else he's done. The Firm, Havana, The Goonies, Tequila Sunrise, Hope Floats, Random Hearts. The Heart is Lonely. Okay, so nothing like massive. He did Tootsie. He's done some, but not like, like holy shit, that kind of stuff. But still, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love that. I love that fucking soundtrack or that score. I love it. Tony Movie Chappy Deal, D9 Neil Blomkamp fan. I haven't seen you in a while. Sends in $1.99, says top 5 favorite movie composers and love the show. Oh, I don't know. I mean, you probably say it right there. Who are the top 5, right? I don't know enough composers by name to do a top 5, because if I did a top 5, I would just be telling you, the names. John Williams, Hans Zimmer, Alan Silvestri, James Horner. And it's like, hey, do I really feel that way? Or am I just taking the names that we know? It's like saying to people, who's your favorite horror director? Or, your top 5 horror directors. John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Alfred Hitchcock. Now, maybe that's true. Maybe that is. Or are you just digging into that well because that's all you know? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like most everything John Williams does. I like a lot of stuff from Zimmer, Horner, and Silvestri. But I can't say that they're my top 5. I don't know. There's so many wonderful composers out there that I would have to really do a deep dive and figure that out. But definitely a lot of the stuff I've been talking about here today, even just, into where we are now on the show, is some of my favorite, just, go-tos when I want to. It's just so good. But there's so much, though. You know what I mean? There's just so much. There's just so much stuff. So much goodness. Reese Wilson, my man, Reese Wilson sends in $7 Australian, almost $8 Australian, I should say. Thank you, Reese, and says, Michael Kamen's Die Hard score is amazing. Particularly the battle freeing the hostages at around the 5-minute and 35-minute mark. Blow the roof. Dude, Die Hard's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal movie. It's got a great score, great soundtrack. You are right. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but let me... is the name of it's the battle freeing the hostages. Okay, let me just do this. Fucking do this right now. Okay, there it is. Let me hear this. That's good shit. That's good shit. That's good shit, Reese. It's good stuff. I'm just going to fast forward it for time. 5-minute mark, you said? Yeah, I love those drums. Love those drums. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's some good shit, Reese. That's some good shit. Oh, you know what's another great soundtrack is the Air Force or score soundtrack, the Air Force One soundtrack. I think that's James Horner, if I'm not mistaken. And fuck, you know what? Fuck it. The Titanic soundtrack. Not just My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, great Canadian gal, but no, the instrumental stuff. Oh, the Titanic soundtrack is fucking great. It's great. It's great. And yeah, the Air Force One soundtrack is great. Air Force One, oh, dude. Yes, this soundtrack here, you'll know it. Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's great shit, man. It's great shit. Yes, yes, I believe that's James Horner, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's Jerry Goldsmith. It's Jerry. There's another guy. Jerry. It's Jerry Goldsmith. That's right. He did Air Force One. That's a great soundtrack. That's a great soundtrack, man. That's some good shit. Some good shit, man. I really like that. That's some good stuff. Some good stuff. Some good stuff. Yeah, Evil Monsterism says, I love the Air Force One soundtrack. Me too. And again, that was another soundtrack that I used to listen to because it came out in 97 when I essentially was graduating high school. And I remember that being a big thing, like a big part of, do you know what I mean? Like I remember that. It's so cool. Joseph Aaron says, Portals Avengers Endgame is fantastic. Play it. Portals Avengers Endgame. Portals Avengers Endgame. Okay, this will be the last one because I don't want to, because I'm going to get, I'm going to get dinged anyway, but I don't want to get too crazy. I haven't seen Endgame, so I won't know the piece of music, but let me see here. I like the way it begins. Ooh, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yes. Love it. Love it. Sounds like it's epic. Like something big's about to happen. It's good stuff. Yeah, love it. Love the mood, the feeling. Like I can imagine. See, I haven't seen the movie, but I can imagine like this. Well, now it's changing a little bit, but I can imagine. It's good stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That if this had come out years ago and I was listening, I totally would have been. It's epic. It's heroic. It's almost like there's this battlefield. Everybody's like, it's like the dust is settling, and yeah, I could totally imagine it. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff indeed. Cody Snyder, one of my great mods. Cody Snyder sends in a very generous super chat of $20. Thank you, Cody. Says, favorite piece of John Williams music is You Are the Pan from Hook. When Peter and Rufio, did I say that? And the Lost Boys are finally united and Peter raises the sword and crows. Pan is back. That was the sound of boyhood. Chills. Amazing. I'll have to play it. Very cool. Very cool, Cody. You know what? Hook is, I like Hook. And I think Hook is one of those movies that gets a bad, I don't know why. I thought Hook was all right. It wasn't great. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't one of Spielberg's, better movies per se. But I thought it was good. I thought it was all right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Cody. I'll have to check that out. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But see, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like you chill. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? The nostalgia, the feels, it's all there and shit. Totally. What's our time here? We got a little bit longer. Again, with McRae Lives, I like to keep them to about 90 minutes. And I mean, I will always go over if there's a reason to go over, of course. But generally speaking, that's where I like to keep them. Is generally in that pocket. So yeah, $66,350. I mean, some donations today, a Blu-ray. Oliver Mercer came on board as an associate producer. Just amazing stuff. Great momentum. 55%, folks. That means we're only 45% away from. Don't look at it in thousands of dollars. Look at it in percentage. It's a lot lower. 45% away from fully funded. Incredible. Frank Riker sends in $2, says Total Recall and Predator themes. Oh, yes, Predator. Yes. I even like from the first Predator, Frank, I like the. You know what I'm talking about? I fucking love that when they're in the jungle and the sweat's dripping off their faces and shit. Fucking love that stuff. Yeah, Predator. Yeah, Total Recall. I gotta listen to Total Recall again. I haven't listened to Total Recall in a while. I haven't watched the movie in a while. Total Recall, whenever I think of Total Recall, it's got one of the best slaps It's got one of the best slaps. Frank, you know what I'm talking about. One of the best. It's when that woman slaps that guy across the face because she thinks he's out of control. But it's just she's so melodramatic, and it's got one of the funniest, bestest cinematic slaps of all time. Hey, have you and Darren done a best like top slaps, top movie slaps? There's an idea. If you do it, my nails bothering me. If you do it, I might have to be on. Al Lochen, is that how you say that? Sends in nearly $2.25 Canadian bucks. Fellow Canuck says, coming in late, trio from Good, Bad, Ugly, Best End. I'm not familiar with it. I'll have to check it out. I really appreciate you you chiming in, though. I'll have to check that out. Do you mean like from the Good, Bad, and the Ugly, like the Clint Eastwood movie? That's cool, man. That's cool. Very cool. Let me see here. Geeked Out Turtle Fan says, I mentioned above, but what about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 score? Just listen to Enter the Show. Oh, yes! 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 Dude, yes! You are correct. Yes, when Shredder enters, oh, yeah, that's a great track. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. Yes, that is a great track. Thank you for bringing that up, Geeked Out Turtle Fan 43. I mean, you know, if anybody's going to bring it up, it's the Geeked Out Turtle Fan. Yes, I even like the song, you know, T-U-R-T-L-E power, T-U-R-T-L-E power. Oh, man, I used to fucking have that on repeat when I was a kid. Yeah, when Shredder, listen, that's how I want an entrance of Skeletor to be. In that vein, if they were to ever make a Masters of the Universe movie. I don't think they ever will. It's just too bad. Maybe one day I'll do it. Probably not. I know how to do it. Now, it'd be an expensive movie, like a $250 million movie. But I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. It would blow. I do. People would be like, what the fuck? The problem with Masters of the Universe, too, is that you're not just reintroducing it to, you know, men in their 40s, but you have to get the general movie, like you have to get people who didn't grow up with it. You know, it's not like He-Man. I mean, it's not Star Wars. You know, it's not in the pop culture zeitgeist on that level. So how do you do something like that and make it, you know, but that's, and Skeletor is big. He's big. He's like 6'5". I mean, like 6'5", 6'6". He's big. He's big. And he's jacked. He's like bodybuilding jacked. And he's big, and he comes in, he's got the blue skin and everything. He's got the fucking, you know, thing and the shaft and stuff with the skull on it. And he comes in, you know, into Snake Mountain, you know, and he's walking down like this hallway or something, you know, and you just hear the weight of him. Go. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And Merman and Beastman are all like, what the fuck? You know, and Evil Lyn is there, you know, and he comes in and he's got like the big hood and like a, you know, fucking cape shit, whatever. And oh, fuck, man. Like, Masters of the Universe has to be like, they have to almost look like gods. You know, I don't mean like they're 30 feet tall, but I mean like He-Man has got to be like, you know, 6'4", 6'3". You know what I mean? He's got to be. Skeletor's got to be taller, like 6'6", 6'5". You know, like everybody's got to be big, jacked, and like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Like everybody. You know, I don't want it to, like, I wouldn't want it to be a. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. There's a video on my channel from a few years ago about how I would do Masters of the Universe. It's like an hour and a half long or an hour long or something. Just YouTube Dave McRae Masters of the Universe. It'll come up if you're interested. But yeah, fuck, man, I would fucking love to do that shit. That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be awesome. Oliver Mercer, £5, and says, I like the Passion of the Christ score. It's absolutely emotional. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I've seen Passion of the Christ, not since it came out in 2004, so I'd have to go back and revisit it. Joe Perez sends in $2, says, the Rocky movies are so good. So good. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the Rocky IV soundtrack alone is great. Hearts on fire, more desire. That's yeah, there's a mixture of great songs in the Rocky movies and great instrumental music in the Rocky movies. Yes, for sure. Like back and forth, 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Fuck yeah. John Dez sends in $1.99, says Danny Elfman's work in Batman 89 classic. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. He did a great job. As soon as you hear that 89 Batman theme, you know it instantly. Which is great. It's really a the true test of long lasting, I guess. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Geeked Out Turtle Fan says they got to make Skeletor badass. Yes, they do. You know, they have to take the strengths of the 80s cartoon, right? So look at the, for lack of a better way, because, you know, it's animation, but like the set, like the design, the worlds, you know, from that 80s cartoon. Now, I know there were other cartoons after that, but I didn't watch those. I was born in 1979, so I grew up through the 80s watching the old school 80s He-Man cartoon. And I know that today it's cheesy and you know, it's a bit goofy at times. I get that. But there's still a lot of good from that 80s cartoon. The design of Snake Mountain, you know, Castle Grayskull, like all sorts of stuff. And I know the later cartoons had that too, but I would not want to make Skeletor, He-Man's half-brothers or whatever the fuck they made him later. I wouldn't want that. I know it adds a bit of a dynamic, and look, if it's done right, maybe it might be interesting, but I would love, yeah, you take the strengths of that 80s cartoon, leave the goofiness aside. And yeah, you make them gods, you know, not like actual Titans, but not like God, but like, yeah, like when Skeletor walks into the room, like it's like Darth Vader, right? David Prowse was 6'7". In those boots, he was probably 6'8", right? When he first entered, it's like, holy shit, he commands presence. You know what I mean? He's one of the greatest villains, if not the greatest villain in cinematic history, you know? And so, yeah, it's the, you know what I mean? You know, and when he comes, like, in Return of the Jedi, when he comes off that fucking shuttle, you know, and he's walking and he's like, what does he say? You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander. I'm here to put you back on schedule. You know, oh my God. Like that's the shit I'm talking about. That Skeletor needs to be the Darth Vader of the Masters of the Universe franchise. Yes, I'm dead fucking serious. Now, he's a different character, so he speaks, not that Darth Vader didn't, but maybe he, you know, there's some quips, and like, I get you still want him to be Skeletor, but fuck, man, yeah, that entrance, he walks into the room, he's big. Like, you look at him and you're like, wow, that's a big man. Well, he's not a man, he's a sorcerer, but it's like, he's big, but he's awesome. You know, like you look at Darth Vader and you're like, he's awesome. Like Darth Vader's fucking awesome. That's how you want to feel with Skeletor. Like Skeletor's awesome. He's fucking, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Incredible. Let me see here. Reese Wilson says Pirates of the Caribbean theme is a classic. Yes, Pirates of the Caribbean has a good theme as well. I will agree with that. Haven't seen all the movies. Did see the Black Pearl, and I think maybe I've seen the first three. I can't remember now. But yeah, for sure. Good stuff. All right, have I got all the... Oh no, John Dez sends in $4.99, says, who did the score for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? I love the music throughout. That is Alan Howarth. Alan Howarth did that, who did the soundtrack, the music for Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, and Halloween 2. Both Carpenter and Alan Howarth did too, but Alan Howarth, yep. I think so anyway. I'm pretty sure that's who did that. All right. Do I got all the super chats? I believe I do. I don't think I'm missing anything. So one last check here on the campaign. Again, folks, anything you can contribute to the campaign is greatly appreciated. Just a reminder, as you can see here, 35 days left. That's it. 35 days left in the campaign. The campaign officially comes to a close on June the 30th. So just a friendly reminder, a friendly nudge. If you're thinking about picking up a Blu-ray, you're thinking about getting the double blue, you're thinking about, I don't know, becoming a producer, you're thinking about getting the shirts or the hats or no, there are no hats this time. The posters, whatever the case is, just a friendly reminder, make sure you don't forget. And I only say that because, after the original campaign ended in 2020, we had a lot of people reach out afterwards. It was, oh, I totally forgot. Or, oh, I was meaning to. I was done. Is there any way I could? Oh, I'm just saying. Just a friendly reminder. Joseph Esposito sends in $10 at the buzzer and says, Dave, can you talk about why you think they went so avant-garde in Halloween Ends? Obviously, they were trying to do something new, but how did everyone get together and come up with that? I don't know, Joseph, I don't know why. I think it just comes down to David Gordon Green has been very clear that he wanted to do something different. He didn't want to do the same old, so he came up with this story. And I actually think it's a very good story, but I think it's the wrong story for that movie. You don't need Michael in that story. As I've said many times ad nauseum on the channel, you can take Michael out of the movie. You can make it a story about Corey's descent into madness because of the bullying and, the effects the town have on him. And you can still deliver the same subtext and political, messaging that you want to. You don't need Michael in the movie at all. So it's a perplexing thing that they did. But the why is because they didn't want to deliver the same thing again. I think you can still deliver the same thing, but make it new and different. It's all on how you tell the story. And what I mean by same thing, I mean, again, it's a movie about Michael coming back, Laurie having to hunt him down, but you can, maybe you bring in a thunderstorm, right? It's raining on Halloween. There's lightning. There's maybe, the power goes out in the town and, you can make it different enough. It's a Halloween movie for Christ's sakes. It's not Shawshank. This isn't Shakespeare. You don't have to think too hard about it. Just deliver what people want. Yeah, it might be the same pizza over again, but it's good pizza and the fans will love it and it'll do well. And, but they wanted to be avant-garde and do something completely different. And so they did. And I mean, that is the why. That is the why. He wanted to do something different. It's not what I would have done. But it is what it is. And there it is. I like the Corey story. I just think it's in the wrong movie. It's disjointed for me because of that. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me here on this episode of McRae Live. I want to thank, of course, my great moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Shore, Darren Sands, Chris Baber, Cody Snyder, and Andrew Stevens. Thank you for doing what you all do. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the super chat questions that came in today on this episode of McRae Live. I really appreciate it, of course. Thank you for supporting the channel on that level. It means a lot. And don't forget, the Indiegogo campaign for It's Me Billy Chapter 2 is live. 35 days left in the campaign. We've reached 55% of our target, which is amazing. 66,350 Canadian Billy bucks, which is awesome, which is totally awesome. But we still have a long way to go. Now, we have a lot of time left, but we still have a long way to go. So the pace that we're on right now is a really good pace. So you're probably going to see me doing a lot of these types. And remember, you don't have to wait for me to do a stream for you to donate to the campaign. I know it's fun when I do them and we get all riled up, we get excited, and that's great. And totally you're allowed to wait if you want. But it's important that on those days I'm not doing streams that we're gaining a little bit of traction as well. I don't mean like $5,000 a day traction, but $500 here, $500 there. It'd be nice to kind of, have certain days where we're still, the heart is still pumping. The heart is still pumping because now, starting Monday, we're into the home stretch. We're into the final month. So this is it. It gets serious now, right? Things get serious. And, but it's very exciting. It's very exciting. And we can't do it without you. We can't do it without you. So, but to everybody that has donated so far, thank you so much. We appreciate you believing in us and the project to that degree. I mean, we've surpassed the entire total of our budget from the first movie in 30 days less. I mean, incredible, absolutely incredible. So a long way to go, but very happy with where we are. Reminder, tomorrow I will be on the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Bruce. Bruce and I will be on there talking about It's Me, Billy, trying to reach some new people, because even though there are overlap, a lot of people who watch me watch them. There are people that watch them that don't watch me. So we're trying to reach some new people as well. And I will probably be back Sunday afternoon at some point for another big stream. Maybe we can push this thing to 70,000 for Monday. That would be amazing to do that. And again, if people come in and drop bombs, that's great, but it doesn't have to take that. Again, Blu-rays. And I'm just saying that because I had a lot of people reach out to me after the first campaign and say, oh, I should have got a Blu-ray. I love the movie so much. Just saying. Now's your chance. Don't want to miss out on it while it's there, while it's hot. I'm just saying. So you might see me back on Sunday taking advantage of sort of those really great Sunday afternoons we've been having. Just do an all Q&A. We'll just shoot the shit, talk about stuff, and really kind of promote, the Billy campaign and see if we can drive it forward. But just, I'm really pleased with the momentum so far and where we're at. It's really cool. 545 backers, 55%, 66,350. Thank you so much. Really cool. So let's keep this momentum going, folks. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, share it with share. I don't know. Keep it going. Yeah, and I will post a reminder tomorrow morning on my socials about the show over on Frank and Darren's podcast. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll talk some Billy and of course our top 5 psychological horror films. And Darren, if you're watching, I will get those to you soon. I promise. I'm still waiting on Bruce. Maybe he's already texted me back. I'm not really sure. My phone's not here in my studio. I will get them to you as soon as possible. All right, folks, have a great rest of your Friday night, and I will talk to you all soon. Hey, if you want to follow me on social media, you can. There are my links right there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content, and when your heart is content, check them out again. And yeah, that'll do it for me. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.